Paul Neeson with the Raw Life Health Show with a fellow who's been eating a raw food diet for over 45 years. This man is amazing. I'm going to give my comments about the interview. All right, everybody, there he was, the High Priest Quatamani, and I told you, intense, but it works. I mean, I say, and I said all along, one of the serious mistakes I've made for many years was over-consuming the raw food diet. And just because you're not eating as much as somebody else doesn't mean you're not overeating. You have to go through those stages of detoxification. And if you're eating a raw food diet and not feeling good, having a bloated stomach, or not getting good sleep, or require tremendous amounts of sleep, something is not working. Long run, these things should be improving, not getting worse. That's been Quatamani's experience and mine as well. And I have not mastered all these areas yet, but I follow his teachings and his information about the raw food diet, and each day I come closer and closer to achieving the great health that he talks about. And I love his quote, "If it ain't live, give it up. If it ain't live, don't put it in your body." Excellent quote. And I really enjoy what he says about overeating. And I want to talk a little about my interview in the book that's available at rawlife.com that I did with Quatamani many years ago. Now, he's been all over the world. He's been to Africa, Europe, Asia, and in the United States. That's where I met him, and he continues to get the message out there. Definitely get to his website and check his information out. But he's a wonderful, amazing master chef, a raw food chef, and I mean, I've had his food, and it is really great. But I like that he talks about the simplicity and not eating a lot of food, and he also talks a lot about spirituality, acknowledging that health is more than just diet alone. As a matter of fact, he says when you're healthy, you're going to be led to eat the right foods, and I love that. I just agree with that 100%. You're going to be led, if you're fasting, if you're doing it the right way, you're going to be led to fast. And the information, you'll be led to know what to eat and what to do. So yeah, you could ask me questions, you could ask Quatamani questions, but if you're in the right place, the Spirit's going to lead. And the results are going to show if it's the right Spirit leading you. So I just love his information. Now, I'm sure we don't agree 100% on our spiritual outlook in life, and I don't know any two people that do. But when it comes to diet, taking care of your body, and the health issues, I think we are right there together with our information. I asked him what his average diet was like, and as it's starting to rain here, the clouds come out, and it's starting to rain here in usually sunny Florida. I'll get through these comments before it rains. We might have to go inside to finish. But I asked him what his daily diet is like. And he says at this point in life, he definitely doesn't have a large stomach to consume a lot of food. He says he doesn't even eat every single day. But sometimes he's not even aware that he doesn't eat every day. Somebody actually has to tell him. I also found it interesting what he said about sleep. He said over the years he hasn't been eating as much, so he doesn't require as much sleep. And I think if a person is going through an illness, a detoxing, or a healing, they require more sleep. But when you reach a certain level or a certain stage, maybe you don't need as much sleep. I mean, he said he goes some nights without sleep. I know I can get by with much less sleep than I did when I was eating a toxic diet, but I certainly still enjoy my sleep. And for me, usually the longer the better, but I just can't get it. Not because of my health or my great not needing sleep, just because I'm too busy. But that's not a good thing, though. But I think, I've heard other people like Quatamani say when they eat healthier, they not only do they need less sleep, which I agree with, but he says they sometimes need very little sleep. So very little food, very little sleep, and less is more. Less of that, more of life. If it ain't live, give it up. I like that. Definitely contact Quatamani at his website. Check it out, his information. I'm just really happy to call him a friend. I'm not happy that we don't live that close to each other, so I can't see him more often. The information he shares, spirituality, folks, is important. Diet is good, but spirituality is important. Don't neglect that, folks, because I think too many people do, and it often gets us into certain situations that can be dangerous, not only to our physical health, emotional health, and spiritual health. This man is healthy. This man is living the life we should live from a diet standpoint. He knows the foods we should be eating. He eats them in the right amount at the right times. I can't say enough good things about him, and I'm glad I got him an interview in my book, but I was even more happy to see him. I have a friend who helped me design my book, who met Quatamani with myself many years ago in Atlanta. His name's Enrique, also known as the Raw Hermit. And me and Enrique always reminisce and talk about some of the things we've learned from Quatamani and the things he's taught us. And we might not have followed 100% the path he told us to take, but we followed it close enough to know that we're much healthier today than we would be if we hadn't have met him. So we're so blessed and glad we met him. And, you know, we got to get him back to the United States more often, folks. So, everybody, that was this week's interview. If you have any questions or comments, just post them below the video, and we'll get to more of your questions next week here on the Raw Life Health Show or the end of this week. Well, everybody, thank you very much for being a member and checking us out. Until then, have a great day and a great Raw Life.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, brighten up your life.